Hello world, this is Vagabond speaking. In this video, me and my friend are traveling to Laos, a small and peaceful country tucked between mountains and rivers in Southeast Asia. We went to Laos not just to see one of the smallest capital cities of Southeast Asia, enjoy stunning nature and explore weird cities which are almost empty. We also had a strange desire to ride some Lao freight trains by a new railway which appeared in the country lately thanks to Laos' big brother China. So let the journey begin, across rails, mountains and a few unexpected places. By the way, I'll be traveling with my friend named Ban. We met up in Bangkok, Thailand, and from there we took a passenger train together to Vientiane, the capital of Laos. Our passenger train is now leaving Bangkok Central Station. The journey to Laos is going to take 12 hours more or less. Taking this train for 4 hours. It's kind of my sleeping position, not so much space. Okay, so we just arrived to the border station from Thai side of the border. So we'll get our passport stamps and then get back to the train to proceed further to Laos. Okay, so we've just passed by Thai border control. They stamped our passports and we're back to our train. Yeah, as long as we have our passport stamped, we cannot just leave railway station. But still, street vendors adapted to that, so they're basically staying close to the railway platform. You can get some snacks from them without actually leaving the railway station. Okay, at 9 AM our train is departing from the last station in Thailand. We are approaching the Friendship Bridge which connects Thailand and Laos. The train is going to cross it and then we'll enter Lao territory. We are in Vientiane. Now we're gonna find immigration to stamp the passport. As a Russian citizen, I don't have to get any visa, but my friend is American, so he'll need to get Lao visa first. Okay, so the very first thing upon arrival of the train is filling this kind of arrival cards. So we have to provide some information about us. Okay, even though I was the last one who filled the arrival card, I was one of the first ones who eventually passed customs because I'm a Russian citizen. I don't need to deal with visas, so they just stamped my passport and that's it. So for me it was kind of the express entry. Anyway, now I'm waiting for my friend who is currently waiting in the line for his visa on arrival. That's how the interior of Vientiane railway station looks. There are some basic things such as a coffee shop, small grocery store, and of course the ticket office. Exchange some pocket money here at the railway station in the exchange office. For $100 I got 2,155,000 kip. That's the currency of Laos. Pretty beautiful money, beautiful bills. It actually sounds like the whole immigration procedure took about an hour.
Yeah, give or take, but that's because I screwed up during the process. Basically, you show up, you fill out a one-page application, and then you also fill out an arrival form. I had forgotten to fill out the application part of the process, and that put me back to the back of the line. So normally it takes about 20 minutes, it took me about an hour. So, and then you pay about 50 or 60 bucks. Normally it's $40, and if you go at the border, it's like 50 or 60 bucks you end up paying. And potentially release you early on something like good behavior.
Okay, we just made it to Vientiane bus station, and from here we are going to walk to our hotel to drop our bags there first. See, they're right. So interesting. Are these like tuk? They're not entirely tuk-tuk.
It's like a.
It's a mixture of a tuk-tuk and motorbike, you can say.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
Yeah, because they look like tuk-tuks, but they have the foundation of a motorbike. So
they've just modified an old Honda, or well, yeah, in this case, an old Honda bike basically, and just welded it up to the the wagon basically, and so they've just converted it into a tricycle.
Yeah,
more or less. The
tricycle.
powertrain has been converted to the rear axle, as you can tell. It's actually a pretty creative creation. He's put the powertrain on the rear axle, so this wheel is just used to steer at this point. But yeah, it's a pretty creative design.
And just randomly found such a lovely mural depicting people in agriculture.
I think what they're trying to emphasize here is this notion that because Laos has been and still is largely an agrarian society, right, primarily based on agriculture, that they want to promote the concept that a modern Laos can live in harmony with nature.
So proper morning starts with beer Lao, famous Lao beer,
Indeed.
which we are going to drink along with the breakfast, which we ordered in one of the places here in Vientiane. That's basically our order. We ordered the same thing, so it's going to be our American breakfast, as it was mentioned in the menu. Yeah, and also a glass of Lao beer. So all in all, one order cost $6.
We're paying like city center of Vientiane prices right now. So
Yeah.
obviously, if you're going to order this in a small village, you're always going to pay a premium because it's Western. But an average meal in Laos is $1 to $2 probably on the street.
We successfully checked into our hotel, dropped our bags there. We are going to rent a scooter for a day to drive around the city and surrounding area. Driving scooter around the streets of Vientiane, it's pretty okay experience. Now we are approaching one of the major attractions of the city, the Victory Monument, aka the Triumphal Arch. Victory Monument, which is basically the copy of Triumphal Arch from Paris, France, which was constructed here in honor of the victory over France in the war for independence of Laos. It also seems to be one of the most popular tourist attractions in Vientiane. When you are walking by side streets of the city, you rarely see tourists, but in some places of their concentration, like this arch, you can see many of them. You can see in like closer view of the decoration of the ceiling of this arch, so you can clearly see that there are some classic like Asian motifs, so this kind of images of local gods, this kind of creatures, elephants. There's actually a great view of the avenue which stretches from the city center all the way to this monument. The traffic here is not so heavy, by the way, compared to Bangkok and other major cities of Southeast Asia, just because population of Vientiane is just naturally smaller than population of capital cities of surrounding countries. After checking out the few sites Vientiane had to offer, my friend and I set off on a new mission to explore the freight train station in Vientiane. Once we arrived, we scouted around looking for a good spot near the yard where the freight trains were departing. After some wandering, we finally found a promising place. We decided to come back the next day and try our luck at catching a train. Having checked the yard, we went to see a park full of Buddha statues, a strange and fascinating place, filled with dozens of sculptures sitting just near the Mekong River on the border between Laos and Thailand. Aside from the statues though, there wasn't much else to see, so we soon headed back to Vientiane to rest and prepare. The next morning, a brand new chapter of our journey was about to begin. It's new day in Laos, actually our second day in Vientiane. We are studying it in pretty much random local restaurant where we ordered some local food. Ben has already received his order.
This is just a Lao version of a dish called pad krao, which is basically just stir-fried beef, chicken, or pork, minced usually. These are bigger pieces with a whole lot of chili pepper inside of it. So it's making me hiccup. It's giving me the gas. You know what I mean? But it's good. Yeah, it's decent.
A little bit spicy, served with soup.
Spicy, yeah, served with some soup. Of course, you have the quintessential peppers on the table. And of course, how could you be without
Complimentary drink.
Exactly. Yeah, the beer Lao to wash it down. So, pretty good combo. Keeps you going for a while, but definitely stings on the way out.
So we just had a breakfast in Vientiane. Currently we are outside the city because we are planning to try to eventually catch the freight train. We grabbed our gear, which we stored in the hotel in Vientiane. Took a taxi, by the way, outside the city. And now we're gonna walk to the railway station and yeah, just pray that we manage to catch out.
In the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
We're passing by a local grocery store. Here they sell some very basic snacks, but it's also a restaurant. And there is banner in front of us, LCR. It's basically that Laos-China Railway. I think it's kind of the welcoming sign, or maybe the sign not to approach it. It says in Lao and Chinese language, it says something, so let it be the mystery. But if someone of you speaks it, you can mention it in the comments. I'm actually curious. I'm too lazy to just open Google translate it in real time, so fuck it.
Yeah, same here.
So we're approaching the spot, passing by a group of cows.
These are a variety of like Asian cow. They're called Brahmin cattle. And yeah, basically it's the type of beef. If you get a steak in a place like Thailand or Laos, it's not usually going to be Angus beef. It'll be something from a local cow like that. What do you put our odds at catching a train today, Mr. Vagabond?
20 to 30%.
20 to 30%? Yeah, okay. I'll go with that. Yeah, okay. Maybe 10 to 20, but who knows? Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we have 10 Kalashnikovs pulled on us by, I don't know, the Lao China Railway Police, but who knows? Either way, it's an adventure, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
We kind of saw some actions going on in the yard, but it wasn't clear what was going on there, just shunting, or possibly we missed the departure of the train, so we just decided to go to the throat of the station to see what's going on with the only train which is currently available in the yard. So the idea is to just get to the opposite side of railway tracks like this and walk them on that side. So in this case we managed to avoid that empty space on the left side of the tracks. Plus, staying here we can be relatively unseen by the building of this dispatcher over there. We don't want to just walk parallel to the railway tracks because of the working tower from where we can be seen easily. Alright guys, we've just got the freight train out of Vientiane. It's intermodal train heading towards Chinese border, and we are completely exposed. We didn't manage to catch the train with gondolas, so it's entirely like flat cars with containers, so it's a high risk of being caught. Just past the town of Vientiene, which is famous for the nature around it, one of the most beautiful places in Laos. But we are rolling further towards Luang Prabang, and let's see how fast we'll get there. Actually, the ride between Vientiane and Vientiane happened to be very fast. I mean, just a couple of hours. This railway there are so many tunnels and they're so long, and apparently I've spent 1/3 of the entire ride in tunnels. I managed to reach the border station of Boten in northern Laos without being noticed. The railway workers were busy inspecting other trains and didn't see me.
Once my train came to a complete stop, I quietly slipped out and made my way to the railway platform without drawing any attention. The only way to get from the railway to the street was to go through the station building. I entered the underground passage leading into the station, but once inside, I was surprised to discover that the entire building was closed. The doors were locked and there was no one inside. No staff, no security. I had no choice but to return to the passenger platform where I had originally entered. There, I happened to find the railway conductor and asked him how could I get out, considering the station was shut. Without hesitation, he pointed to some entry gates that didn't have any barbed wire above them. I simply climbed over them, and that's how I finally exited the station.
I covered more than 400 kilometers, I think. I was completely exposed to everyone, and still I managed to arrive unseen. No one was looking for me. My friend, by the way, didn't manage to catch the train, that's why you didn't see him with me. So we kinda agreed to meet up in Luang Prabang, the station which my train passed. He's currently being shaken down for his vape. He's vaping, and vapes are illegal in Laos.
Basically, you have to go through security when you enter the train station, and the security guard found a vape in my pocket, which apparently is illegal. They claim the fine in Laos is 5 million kip, which might be true, but when I tried to take a photo of the page they showed me that said the fine was 5 million kip, they wouldn't let me take a picture. So I have no way of knowing if that's the actual fine in Laos, or if it's just some number they made up off the top of their head. I guarantee you they're just trying to shake me down, right?
And now, welcome to the Boten Special Economic Zone, a major Chinese-led development project in northern Laos. Established in 2003, the Special Economic Zone is part of broader Laos-China economic cooperation initiatives. Initially, Boten became known between 2007 and 2011 as a casino hub, attracting Chinese gamblers since gambling is banned in China. However, this period saw a rise in crime and social problems, leading to the shutdown of the casinos and a major decline in the local population. In recent years, Boten has been undergoing redevelopment with a new focus on transforming it into a modern urban center. The Lao government, along with Chinese investors, plans to turn Boten into a key transportation and logistics hub, taking advantage of its location at the terminus of the Laos-China Railway and near the Huai Sai-Boten Expressway.
One of the reasons why I decided to visit Boten, because initially I wanted to just get off the train and hitchhike back to Luang Prabang, is to find a place to have breakfast, but based on Google Maps there are no places like this which work earlier than 9 AM. Current time, just double checked, is 7:50. There's an interesting establishment, the Cabaret Show, so it looks like a restaurant from the outside, but apparently it is originally designed for this kind of performances like Cabaret Show. Yeah, most of ad here is in Chinese language. Most of the street signs. It seems to be Boten Night Fair. One letter is missing, but who cares? But at least here we can have a meal. Hello. Do you have menu? Menu. Yeah, menu. You only have noodles? Noodles? You have a rice? Rice? Okay, I'll use translate, no problem. Do you have fried rice? Okay, let's say simplified Chinese. Oh, what's this? It's tofu? 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 Okay. You have some noodles. Noodles. Is it spicy? Yeah, no problem. Okay, okay, so apparently they just serve some tofu here with some vegetables, a little bit of beef. There are some noodles, but it's not what I would like to have for the breakfast. Yeah, anyway, yeah, thank you, no problem. Well, spicy tofu with noodles, it's not what I'm looking for right now. There's a massive construction site. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to walk here, but probably no one cares. What is important at this point is that people are working. Apparently this is the essence of Special Economic Zone. Here we can find duty-free stores, duty-free gasoline stations, and maybe something else duty-free. Just got to a random grocery store which happened to be open. It's full of Chinese groceries. Funnily enough, prices here are mentioned in yuan, not local currency. Costs 7 yuan or approximately 21,000 kip. Okay, I'm heading back to Boten railway station. I decided to take a train to Luang Prabang instead of hitchhiking. Something tells me that even though I need to wait for a few hours for the departure of the train, it would still be faster to wait, take this train, than just hitchhiking, because roads here are in quite poor condition. I'm going to take a high-speed train which runs from Kunming, China to Vientiane, capital city of Laos. This is how the check-in area of the railway station looks. It's a very interesting railway station. It's like in the airport, so there are separate sections of the building for domestic departures and for international departures. So we are currently in the section of domestic departures because we are traveling within Laos. And they also have a separate kind of the check-in area, so entrance to the platform is only possible when apparently the train has arrived. And also it's impossible to enter the building of the train station without a ticket. Keep in mind that around the railway station there are even no restaurants, no cafes, effectively no places where you can have a meal. But at the railway station there is a grocery store where you can get some basic groceries. For example, this kind of the sweet toast with blueberry taste or something. Okay, it's a very basic Lays, chips. Okay, that's an interesting thing. It's cream egg cookies with chocolate flavor. This is just a jar of espresso. So all in all it cost me 135 kip.
As I have already mentioned, the reason I chose to take the train instead of hitchhiking was simple. By train, the journey to Luang Prabang would only take about an hour and a half, while hitchhiking would have taken at least 7 to 8 hours. The train ticket cost around $12, and considering the time saved, the train ride was definitely worth it. Was quite popular, with many passengers on board, and by the afternoon I had arrived in Luang Prabang. For 40,000 Lao kip, I took a shuttle bus from the railway station to the city, since the station was located about 20 kilometers away from Luang Prabang. I spent the rest of the day in the city, but I didn't do anything particularly noteworthy, so there won't be a video from my first day in Luang Prabang. Let's move straight to my second day there, when I set out to explore the surroundings of the city and the city itself.
Okay world, it's new day in Laos. I carry on exploring this country and currently I'm focused on the exploration of the city of Luang Prabang and the area around it. It's early morning, 7 AM. I'm on the scooter which I rented here yesterday in the evening, and I'm going to see one of the most beautiful attractions around the city, the waterfall. Not gonna lie, it's a very cold ride just because I'm exposed to this wind. You can even see evaporation coming out of my mouth. Whew. I bet it's colder here than in Luang Prabang, maybe 10 degrees Celsius, but it's okay, come on guys, it's January, it's winter everywhere here in Northern Hemisphere. Just a random Lao village which I'm passing by, it's extremely chill. That's why I decided to make a quick stop here to show you around. That's my scooter, Honda Scoopy. And you know what guys, I just noticed that it doesn't have license plates. It questions the fact that you actually need driver's license to drive it. There's an interesting statue of Buddha, golden Buddha on top of the hill, which basically greets the entire village, and the statue is illuminated by the sun in the morning. Okay, so the ticket for a foreigner costs 60,000 kip, which is approximately $3. For a local it's 20,000. So the ticket office is open from 8 AM to 5 PM, so you can see the waterfall during daytime. I just double checked them up and realized that ticket office is situated on a distance from an actual waterfall, and from here you can take a free shuttle bus to the waterfall. Even though I personally picky in terms of waterfalls and don't find many of them worth visiting, this waterfall in Laos is certainly worth a visit, because it's not just one waterfall. This is the cascade of waterfalls, and you can see many of them in the same place. And you can also bath somewhere here, so if you want to swim in this water, you're allowed to do so. Just do it carefully.
Kuang Si waterfall is considered one of the most picturesque places in Laos. This multi-tiered waterfall is surrounded by dense jungle and is famous for its cascading streams of water that form pools where visitors can swim. The main waterfall has a height of about 60 meters, and below it, the water flows over limestone terraces, creating small lagoons with crystal clear blue water. The striking color of the water is due to the high limestone content, which reflects sunlight.
Alright, it was such an enjoyable visit to the waterfall. Now I'm going to get back to Luang Prabang, to my hostel, to rearrange my belongings, and then I'm planning to visit the elephant sanctuary. Okay, it seems that I've got to the elephant sanctuary not so far from Luang Prabang. When I was passing by their property, it was mentioned that technically you need to have reservation for the tour or something, but of course I didn't do it, so let's see if it will be possible to get to see actual elephants or not. There is such an interesting street sign on the entrance. Okay, eventually I managed to find some stuff here, and as an option for me, I can go to see actual elephants and feed them. This pleasure costs 15 bucks. There is an elephant in front of us. Apparently, currently, it is alone here, so there are more elephants, but they're now in the jungles. Oh, you can see that the elephant is chained, so technically it shouldn't. Yeah, I see.
If not chain, elephant will go anywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The elephant is Mekami.
Mekami, so this is lady elephant. Lady.
Yes, girl.
Okay.
Lady, yes. It's male mean the lady and female, right? The how old of the elephant? 40 years old.
Oh, she's 40. Tiny bananas. Wow.
So elephant we eating one day 250 kilogram.
Of food.
Yes.
So
They eat the banana tree, bamboo, sugarcane, cornstarch, and pineapple plant. Yeah, everything, but no meat.
So this is basically a female elephant, so she is approximately 40 years old. The weight of this elephant is 3 tons. The reason why she's here right now is because of the cold, allegedly. The weather here in this area during nighttime is fairly cold, and she just either couldn't cross the river to the jungles or didn't want to, so eventually she was put here to this secure territory where she is being fed. So this is basically banana tree. I've just fed her with some actual bananas. So during one day she eats roughly around 250 kilograms of food, drinks more than 100 liters of water. Look, she's trying to deal with this massive piece of the banana tree because it's probably too big for her to swallow. Elephants look extremely smart. Probably they are. They are kind of surrounded by their poop, which is massive in size. But again, what do you expect from such a big animal? Okay, I've just been given a few more bananas, which we can use to feed the elephant. She's probably gonna be happy. It's more interesting than just eating the tree.
Having checked the elephant, I returned to Luang Prabang to eventually see a bit of the city.
I think it makes sense to drive around the old town of Luang Prabang to show you a little bit more of French colonial architecture for which the city is remarkable. So there are this kind of villas with some great architecture. Some of them have been turned into restaurants, cafes, potentially guest houses. Possibly some of them are just naturally inhabited. Look at this beauty. There are some older buildings as well. But yeah, you know, it's a mix. It's a lovely city, so you can just drive a scooter or walk following the embankment of the city and enjoy this French colonial architecture and just like life around you. Finally, I'm staying next to Mekong River, one of the major rivers of Southeast Asian region. It is remarkable by the fact that it's just naturally big. It covers a lot of distance, so it's pretty long. And yeah, the life of millions of people is tied into this river. So there are some villages and settlements situated along the banks of Mekong which are only accessible by boats.
I gazed at the waters of the Mekong and then decided to try the local coffee. I took my time enjoying the drink in a cozy spot before heading to my hostel where I spent the rest of the day. As evening fell, I made my way to the old town again, where the famous night market was located. Here one could not only taste the variety of local dishes at very affordable prices, but also experience the unique ambience of a Southeast Asian night. With that, my day came to an end. In the next episode, we will travel to another part of Laos, but that's a story for the next video. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, leave a comment and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. See you next time.